and Polynesia. Long before there were computers, before email, before the internet, long before there were books, before journals, before diaries, our people had oral traditions. Our oral tradition was a means of communication, our catalyst to capture, communicate and tell our histories, our ideologies, our customs and traditions, our lives, and they were passed down through generation to generation. These oral traditions that we have are often told through our music, through our dance, our poetry, our genealogies, our myths, our legends, and our art. One of these art forms is what we wear today. This is called the Tatau. The Tatau was a traditional full-body male tattoo, which extends from the mid-waist, just below the ribcage here, down to below your kneecaps. In the 16th, around the 16th, 17th century, when European settlers, voyagers, colonists, whalers arrived on our shores, and on the shores of Samoa and Polynesia, they were amazed and astounded at the first sighting of the Tatau. So much so that they borrowed, they took notes down, they tried to draw it on their diaries and their journals that they had with them. They tried to pronounce it, and today that word became Tatau. Okay? So the Tatau, you can just put it this way, that the art form that we know worldwide, globally, and the generic term of tattooing and the art form of tattooing has its roots and its origins in Samoa and in Polynesia, and we are very proud of that. Today the Tatau is used by Europeans all around the world, Asians. They use the machine and ink. But today in Samoa we still use our traditional methods, which our tools are made from the teeth of wild boars, wild pigs, the teeth of sharks, and in some families the traditional tools are made from the bone of human fallen warriors, Samoan back in ancient days. The Tatau is a sign of manhood. It is the rite of passage, the transition from being an adolescent, young little boy, to being a young man. The process of acquiring a Tatau is a long and tedious, painful process. It can take up to 3 to 4 days. It can even take 2 weeks, and in some cases it can take a few months. And depending on how much you can handle, and that's how long you'll have to bear the pain. And this all depends on how much an individual can take with the pain and suffering. The Tatau is a sign of bravery, a sign of status and prestige, not only amongst your peers and your fellow young men, your brothers, but also amongst other families, amongst your villages, and also amongst Samoa. And it was also a great way of luring the opposite sex. With getting the Tatau comes more responsibility. And as I mentioned a little bit earlier, the Tatau is a privilege to wear. One of the most esteemed privileges of having a Tatau was the honor of being able to enter the Whale of Matai, the house of chiefs. Because those that didn't have one, you were not allowed to enter where the chiefs resided.